Hi, Alan here, and it's amazing. We had Snowmageddon last week. We had a week of sub-freezing temperatures, and today actually got into the low 80s. It's the second very warm day in a row. Now we've had a cold front come through. Tomorrow's going to be hard pressed to get over 50 degrees. So I figured I'd take this opportunity towards the end of February to introduce you to where I've been all winter. Um, this is a post. First of all, it's Alan from RVAcrossamerica.net, and this is a post that will appear at RVAcrossamerica.net / Texas Hills, HILLS. So, welcome. The scene behind me, this is Lake Buchanan, and it's where I've been all winter. I've got a waterfront site. It's an amazing place. I'm at Texas Hills RV Haven. I highly recommend this place. Jeff and Margot are the owners, and they got about 10 sites here. They've got a little inlet that goes further up. It's dry right now, so only the sites closest to the lake actually have water next to them. And I got lucky. I got closest to the lake. So it's been quite a winter. Winter of 2021, I knew was going to be different. The last 8 winters prior to this, and I've been on the road almost 10 years now. The last 8 winters, I've been up in ski country. I'm a ski instructor. I ski 100 days a winter, and not so much this winter. This winter, my typical attire has been what I'm wearing: a short sleeve shirt, a flannel shirt, and a pair of shorts, and a pair of loafers with no socks. My feet are showing the wear and tear from not wearing socks. So I'm having a great time, and I'm about to move on come March 1st. I'm headed out towards West Texas, and I'm going to work my way gradually north and east. And when you get over to the post, RVAcrossamerica.net / Texas Hills, you'll see what my plans are, and you'll see why I'm heading north and east up towards Colorado and South Dakota. Hopefully this wind, I feel a little breeze behind me. It's beautiful. It's in the low 70s right now. Hopefully it's not creating too much wind noise with the microphone. So forgive me as I check my notes. I want to make sure I cover all the salient points that I wanted to cover. So this winter, not so much as far as cold weather and snow. Last week was an exception, but most days here are in the 60s. We've had 70s. Today was the first day over 80 degrees that I can identify, and it's pretty dry, not too humid. This morning was a little humid, but again, we had a cold front come through, and tomorrow's going to be very noticeable, again, when we have trouble getting up to 50 degrees. And I can feel the wind freshening on my back. So again, hopefully that's not creating an issue with the sound. I'm here in the Texas Hill Country, right near Taos, Texas, and Bluffton, Texas, right along Lake Buchanan, Buchanan Lake, whatever you want to call it. Beautiful lake, large lake. Great for kayaking. Did that often. If the wind picked up too much and it became choppy out there, like whitecaps, I would stay in and find something else to do. And there's plenty else to do in this area. We're located about 70 miles northwest of Austin, but there's a bit of a gulf between here and Austin in a lot of ways. And one of which is there's no interstate highway that feeds up into this area. It's all county 2 lanes, 1 lane each way, or 4 lanes at most, 2 lanes each way. And Texans are pretty interesting at how they drive them. They drive fast. Driving 70 or more miles per hour through this area is not only legal on a lot of the roads, but, it's done, and people pass each other, and they're doing 70, 75 or more, and it's just commonplace. It's interesting. Again, the folks here at Texas Hills RV Haven, Jeff and Margot, I can't have enough good things to say about them. They've got a great property here. You'll see some photos in the post. And I also, in the post, I've got some, actually following this part of the video, I'm going to continue with more video inside and show you this region. I've got a couple of tools I'm going to use to show you the region and show you where some of the places are that I'm about to name. Again, it's been great having a daily view out here like this. I will miss this spot. There's no question about it. When I didn't go kayaking, biking is something I love to do. This area is not great for biking. They're not big on shoulders on these roads. So the only place I would bike would be in neighborhoods, and the neighborhoods are not real big, and nothing around here is flat. So everything is on a slope, and you've got to be ready to climb some hills. Hiking, Inks Lake State Park, that's INKS. Balconies, Canyonlands National Wildlife Preserve, that's just east and south of Burnett. Pace Bend Park, that's near San Sabas. Colorado Bend, actually no, that's down by Marble Falls. Colorado Bend State Park is near St. Sabas and Lampasas, about 20 miles north of here. Actually, it's about 10 miles from here, but you've got to kind of do a loop around, so it's like a 50-mile loop to get to Colorado Bend State Park. And at Shannon Rock, which I never made it to because they've got this crazy thing in the state park system where you got to reserve your arrival, and particularly on the weekends. Weekdays, they'll generally let you in, but in Shannon Rock, I was told you really have to reserve. The main towns in this area, and the biggest one is Marble Falls in this immediate area, which is immediate meaning 38 miles away, and that's where the biggest H-E-B grocery store is. That's the chain that's really big in Texas here. It's got 6,000 people. Llano, Burnett, and Kingsland are smaller towns that are in the immediate area, let's say 20 to 30 minute drive from here. There's nothing less than a 20-minute drive. We are in the middle of nowhere. This is a very rural area, and I kind of like that. Literally 4 miles up the road from something called the Bluffton store. So we're pretty secure. And I felt really secure being here because I'm at kind of the end of the campground right near the owner's home. And frankly, I didn't lock things up a whole lot during the winter. I probably shouldn't volunteer that, but I'm leaving in a few days. San Antonio's a couple hours away. Austin, an hour to an hour and a half. Fredericksburg, about an hour to an hour and a quarter. And Fredericksburg is kind of a German stronghold. Germans came across in the 19th century and settled into that region, and it's got a real German flavor to it. Hofmeister and brew houses and that kind of stuff. So it's really pretty cool, actually, going to Fredericksburg. All right, enough of my rattling out here. I'm going to now flip this to the inside. Join me inside, and I'll show off the region a little bit, show off the campgrounds in the area, and give you a taste of maybe a few places to consider if you do decide to visit the region. All right, you all have a good day, and I'll see you inside. Alan, RVAcrossAmerica.net/Texas Hills. All right, one phrase, Texas Hills. See you inside. So I'm back inside, and I'm down here in the lower right-hand corner if you can't see me. And you're looking at the All Stays interface. This is one of my two primary tools that I use when I'm looking for campgrounds and checking out an area. Let me zoom in on Lake Buchanan, and you can see this is Texas Hills RV Haven. Within All Stays, it gives you a pretty good overview of what you need to know about the campground. If there's a website, you'll find a website link, and you'll find some information on reviews. I'll close that out. So we're at the northern end of Lake Buchanan. You'll notice there are several campgrounds in the region. This one is Cedar Point. It's an LCRA campground, Lower Colorado River Authority. I believe it's dry camping. It's all dry camping here. And again, that's all detailed in this information down here. And the double dollar sign shows it's relatively inexpensive. Although, frankly, for dry camping, I think they're $25. That's relatively expensive to me. You'll see a few other private campgrounds down along the shoreline, and where it says CP, that's a city park or a county park. This is Blackrock Park. It's part of the, I think, LCRA authority down here. They may be a little bit more. I think they've got some hookups down there. And again, details are all revealed within. So again, All Stays is very helpful when it comes to seeing the lay of the land, identifying the campgrounds that are right along the water. You can then explore further, and there are, of course, other layers that you can add to this. I can put in a satellite layer if I so choose, so I could really zoom in and get a feel for what I'm looking at that campground. The only town that shows up in this view is Llano. Llano is here just off to the southwest of where I've been staying. If I zoom out, Burnett is right here, off to the southeast, come down and cut east of where I've been, and Marble Hills. What I'm going to do now is jump over to Google Maps view, and we've got Texas RV Haven labeled right here. This is just simply maps.google.com, and I'm going to zoom out. As I come out, I want to point out a few things that I mentioned in my post. Of course, we're talking about Llano being just off to the southwest. South of Llano, if I go down here, and this is a little bit over an hour's drive, is Fredericksburg. There's a strong German influence in that area. It's because of the immigration that occurred in the mid-1800s right into Fredericksburg, and now they've got all kinds of restaurants and establishments that have that German flavor. Going back up to my starting point up here, a little north of Bluffton, there's a little store here called the Bluffton Store. There's really not much going on in this area. The town of Tao has nothing that's open. There's a couple of churches. There were stores there. It looks like a resort area that kind of went by its wayside, almost like the Catskills of New York 40, 50 years ago. Heading south, within about a 20-minute drive from where I'm staying, Kingsland is a nice little town. It's got a coffee shop. So does Llano, by the way, which is where I am right now. The background you see here is in the coffee shop. Kingsland has a coffee shop. They've also got a small H-E-B store. Llano has a Lowe's, not the big home improvement store, a smaller market, grocery market. Marble Falls is the big kahuna in this area, with the Walmart and a Ford dealer and some other car dealers, and of course the big H-E-B store. If we move over in this direction, I'll zoom back in. This is Inks Lake State Park. There's camping here, and down here is Longhorn Cavern State Park, all within minutes of Tao. And if I go towards Burnett, and there's also a coffee shop here, a Christian coffee shop, nice place. There's a grocery in all these towns. And if I go down to the southeast of Burnett, you can see Balconies Canyonlands National Wildlife Preserve. And down here in this area, if I zoom in, let's make sure I get the right loop. Well, one of these loops contains one of the state parks, River Bend State Park, I believe it's called. And if I zoom back out, go back up to Lake Buchanan or Buchanan Lake, just north of it is Colorado Bend State Park. And that's, as I believe I mentioned in the video, between Lampasas, and San Saba, which are two towns in different counties, a little bit north of Tao. But even though Tao and Colorado Bend are right next to each other, there's no road. So you literally have to drive all the way around. It's a better part of an hour to get over and out. So that hopefully gives you some idea of the area and how I use All Stays. And again, if you want to get a copy of All Stays, it's best on laptops or a larger screen. It's not free, but again, it's a very inclusive database. One of the other valuable tools is the marker for bridge heights, and having a fifth wheel that's almost 14 feet tall, that's a good thing to know. So All Stays, I highly recommend it. I have a link from my post, and that link is an affiliate link, full disclosure, but it does help me to fund my web fees and things like that. So anyway, Alan here, rvacrossamerica.net/Texas Hills, and that'll get you to the post that'll tell you more about what this area has to offer and what my stay in this area was like. Again, Alan from rvacrossamerica.net. Again, rvacrossamerica.net/Texas Hills. And you have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, day, night, whatever it is, whenever you're watching this. Take care.